Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show, which is presented to you by Power Planter Earth Augers, the official digging tool. To find the right size for your digging project, visit powerplanter.com. Now here are your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Welcome back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show, winding up another program. Your questions at the top of the hour. We've got, if you want to submit your question, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can go through our website, which is the wisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and clicking on the question button. You could send us an email at gardentalkradio@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 1-800-927 SHOW. That's 1-800-927-SHOW. We're going to go. We got a couple of calls that came in this week. We're going to go to Michigan, listening to us on WAAM 1600 AM and 92.7 FM out of Ann Arbor. Got a question here. Let's see what it is.
Hello. My name is Ilona. I had two questions. One, cutworms. I try my hardest to grow sunflower seeds, and all the new saplings always get nipped off. It's not rabbits, because everything's fenced in. It's always chewed up around the edge of new, fresh little saplings. And moles and voles. I've tried everything. We have rich soil here. It's sandy, but I've amended it, and I have very healthy soil with lots of worms. So I've tried the mole granule repellents. I've tried the little battery-operated noisemakers. I've tried the poison worms, which probably does the best job, but they're just uprooting everything, and I don't know what else to do. So I'm out here in Oakland County, Michigan. Thank you very much.
All right, Holly, can we help her out with the cutworms? Let's start with that problem first.
Sure. For the cutworms, you want to usually take some diatomaceous earth and sprinkle it around the plants, and that will generally get rid of the cutworm problem. As far as the moles and voles,
well, you can also do a collar too.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, that's right, the collar. So you could take like a toilet paper tube, or make your own with some cardboard or yogurt container.
Cut the bottoms off.
Yeah, make a little collar, and that will stop the cutworms a lot. And then for the moles and voles, unfortunately, it sounds like she tried a lot of options.
Exploding, dynamite might be the answer for that.
This is not a Looney Tunes.
No, wasn't it Happy Gilmore?
Oh, Happy Gilmore, yeah, or something like that. But yeah, you're going to have to continue with the poison if they are aggressive, unfortunately. As much as we don't like suggesting that, sometimes that's the only answer.
And the other thing you want to be aware of, the poison works. However, you want to be aware if you have like pets, dogs, or whatever the case is, these animals are going to die somewhere, and though your pets may consume them or chew on them or whatever, and they would ingest that poison, a hawk, an eagle, whatever the case is, that's something you also need to be aware of. You're trying to prevent one problem, just something to be cautious about.
You can try to trap them, but it isn't always easy. So that's what you could do. Let's
go to a caller from Milwaukee, listening to us on Joy 1340 AM and 98.7 FM.
Hi. We removed an evergreen tree, and we want to reseed underneath. I was wondering, could you tell me, I don't know, what kind of soil to purchase for under there? Or is there a special soil we should go with it? Or if you can give me some information. Thank you.
All right, we cut down an evergreen tree, and now we want to resod that. What is the best options we have? Do we need to purchase new soil, special soil? Can we use what's already there? What's the steps?
So what you want to do is you want to rake away the old pine needles.
Use it as mulch in your vegetable garden.
Yeah, use it as mulch in your vegetable garden. And then you want to just seed. Now, if you feel that the soil might be a little bit acidic, you can just lay down a nice layer of topsoil.
Don't mix it in.
Don't mix it in. Just lay it down on the top, and then seed maybe about an inch of topsoil, and then seed with your grass, and then that will help that will help that grass get established.
Now, that's the easy answer. That would be the answer that Holly and I would go ahead and do the approach to. If that does not work because that soil is a little more acidic, because it's been sitting there for decades, it's not like the neutral pH is like 7. It's not like that soil's 2. It may be, 5-ish, somewhere in that range, high 4s, low 5s. If that grass doesn't take, then you're going to have to get a soil test to see where you're at on that and see if there are grasses that are more susceptible or more tolerable to a lower acidity than what you're trying to seed, the El Cheapo stuff you bought on sale at your big box store type of grass seed. I got time for a couple more, Holly. Let's go with here the new gardener question here.
I'm a new gardener. I have 2 questions. 1, how will I know when I can harvest my onions? And 2, do I need to cage my potatoes? They're getting very tall. They're kind of leaning into each other. Do I need to stabilize them?
All right, for the onions, you will know when the onions are ready to harvest regardless. Okay, this is regardless if the bulb is a marble or a baseball. When the top growth or that top piece falls over and crimps right above the bulb, that's your indication that the plant's done. It's not going to grow no more because it's pinched off its vitals to feed the bulb and the uptake of nutrients at that crimp there. So regardless of what size your bulb is, that's when you know the onions are ready to harvest, whether you're happy with it or disappointed with it. When it comes to, what was the other one? Oh, the potatoes, you don't need to cage them. They will lean, they will fall on one another. If you're having very, very excessive growth of green on your potatoes, could be the variety. It could be an excessive amount of nitrogen in the soil because we say this over and over again. If your plant is very large and very lush with green growth and you don't have a lot of production, for example, a tomato plant, it's because there's so much nitrogen, it's just sucking up all of its nitrogen it can, and it doesn't focus on fruit production. So typical potatoes, they're going to fall, they're going to lean. Don't worry about it. They're totally fine. You don't need to cage them. If they are very, very tall, uncharacteristically tall, you might have a nitrogen spike in the soil you need to look at. I have a question here about canning. Here you go, Holly. This is for you. I'm using a salsa mix. I'm new to canning, and is it safe to put in pint jars? We're not going to name the name of the brand because they're not sponsoring us. That's how the game is played. Could I use half pint jars instead of the process them for the same time when I'm doing this mix?
Yes, you can. So you can.
It's a salsa mix. She's making salsa in pint jars and half pint jars. Can she do the half pint jars for the same time she did the pint jars?
Yes. So not for all canning, but in this case with the salsa's pretty forgiving since you're going from a pint to a half pint. It's okay. You would not want to do that from a pint to a quart. So since you're canning less, but this is not the case for all canning, but with this salsa and that mix. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.